Hey, y'all know what it is. Y'all know who it is. It's your boy Pharaoh the guy. Always on the job. I got five Let's Talk. And as always, it's real talk. Welcome to another episode of I Got Five Let's Talk. Well, we keep it fair like a California bear. We not California raisins, so we don't do no hating. And it's that time again to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another motherfucking friend. Share, like, and subscribe. Don't hide. The buttons ain't got no teeth, so go ahead and reach. Support the channel. Support your boy. And above all, support the movement. First off, I would like to say, may Allah have mercy. May Allah be pleased with Ibrahim Traroé. May Allah places his hand of mercy upon Africa and their movement of Pan-Africanism. A lot of people don't know who Ibrahim Traroé is. A lot of people are lost when it comes to what's going on in Africa. A lot of people are lost that the continent of Africa also affects us here in America. May those that assassinated a brother be dealt with quickly and justifiably. And may they arise somebody that is not scared like Ibrahim Traoré wasn't. May Allah bring somebody with tactics that can combat the West. It is time that Africa stands up. It is time that people see what America is doing. But it's not just America. Europe as well. France. The guy with the transsexual tranny wife. Why is it people that with these agendas that's pushing these agendas, why are they the ones that get to call the shots? Ibrahim Traoré wasn't doing nothing but help building Africa. This is why I said when his right-hand man was offered $5 million to kill him while he was praying in the mosque, I would have fumigated. And I told y'all that. I would have fumigated and vetted everybody around me. Because if they get to the right-hand man, if they get to the second in command, that means the lackeys, everybody that's underneath them, is subject and suspect. For real. Because I said the play could be that you go tell him that we was going to pay you $5 million, but we going to have somebody else assassinated. I said that. To assassinate him in front of 200 people in his office, they were sending a message. They were sending a message that anybody else that tries this, we're going to kill you too. We're going to hunt you down. That is the fear that Africa has for the white man. And a lot of people may say, oh, you know what I'm saying, the Africans in Africa, I'm not separating us. The same problem that the Africans have in Africa with the white man is the same problems that we have with the white man here in America. Divide and conquer. Blacks are so scared of the criminality of the Caucasian race that they just give in. Not even worrying about their own worth, their own value, their own independence, their own future. They are so scared of the Caucasian white race that we continuously, they use us to take out each other. When are we gonna stop letting that happen? This man kicked the French out. Now, the French weren't doing nothing in this country. The French weren't paving no roads. The French didn't start the Africans' very own electric vehicles. France didn't give Burkina Faso free electricity, free water, a gold reserve. They didn't do none of the above. So why in the fuck should they be there? Ibrahim Traroé has done more for Burkina Faso than any other leader in Burkina Faso, besides Thomas Sankara. This man helped put people in power, saw people not living up to the things that they supposed to live up to. But now, just like everywhere else in the world, black people continue to sell black people up the river. And at what cost? And at what cost?
Bodyguards, a team handpicked. Pressures were mounting with each passing day. But Ibrahim Traroé had never shied away from a challenge. He was known for his leadership skills, his resilience, and his unwavering commitment to Burkina Faso's future. With every decision, he had taken great care to ensure the country's survival in a world where power was always at stake. But today, something felt different. Today, a sense of unease lingered in the air, despite the impenetrable security surrounding.
See, me, as a person that's been battle tested, I'm not going to say battle ready, because what we do in our geographical locations is nothing short of a war. I mean, it's nothing of a war. It's a battle. But we have fought battle after battle after battle. And the same people, look at Malcom X. Look at Nipsey Hussle. Look at what's the brother name? Fred Hampton. Mark Clark. All these people that I'm naming were taken down and taken out by other black people that were paid by either white America or white Europe. And niggas could say it's racist. Niggas could say, you know what I'm saying, it's this and it's that. But why is it racist when I'm just pointing out the facts? France is mad because they have no stronghold and no power and no leeway in Burkina Faso. So no one can sit up here and say, oh, well, you know, it was his own people did it. It was a coup. But who is backing these coups? The only coup that wasn't backed by Western powers or France was the junta that Ibrahim Traroé was a part of. We've never seen nor heard of Burkina Faso in the fashion that we've been hearing it for the last several months. And this is the land, Burkina Faso is the land that's seen more coup d'etats, overthrows of government than almost anywhere else in the world. But my thing is home sweet home? Home sweet home can be home to some, but can be a confinement to others. The loss of Ibrahim Traroé is pressure on us to be like, we don't want to fight the good fight. We don't got nothing to do with it. It's a fear tactic, for sure. Now, what else is going to happen to this country? Because there is another leader that's in exile, whom Ibrahim Traroé has helped overthrow. But now are they going to usher back in France and its government? Because the only way for him to be assassinated is for France to still want to ascertain and obtain the organic minerals of Burkina Faso. A lot of people don't want to believe that. A lot of people have been so wooed away by what's going on with Diddy and all these other people. Ain't nobody gonna talk about it.
Come on.
Ain't nobody gonna bring noise to it. And why? Because they didn't want, bye-bye Stinky, they didn't want nobody to be aware of what's going on in Africa. They didn't want nobody to see that Africa is on the climb to destroy imperialism. How did Ibrahim Traroé get killed when North Korea just sent 700 troops over there? They had to hurry up and kill him before he established anything else. He had to be killed. In the enemy's eyes, he had to be killed before he established anything further. If he established anything further in Burkina Faso, it would be almost impossible to take him down. But the same thing that takes blacks down all around the world, another black person. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, may Allah be pleased with him, said that the worst devil, no, he was coined and blamed for saying that the white man is the devil. But they never let him finish that sentence. Because if they did, they would know that he said a white man is the devil, but the worst devil is a black devil because he looked just like you and me. And you're going to let him in every time. And he's going to destroy your house. That's what he said. The worst devil is a black devil. But how come we're not feeding on that? How come we're not zeroing in on that? Because they didn't want us to zero in on it. They didn't want us to know that we are going to be tricked, bamboozled, and hoodwinked by our own people for the sake and cause of the Caucasian people. Black people are time and time again, this man just got killed, but yet they gonna say, oh, it was his own people that did it. But he kicked all the white people out. So who is mad? Who can be mad right now? Those that are in cahoots with France. Not those that are in cahoots with the betterment of Africa or Burkina Faso. Those that helped assassinate Ibrahim are those that are helping the West. Those that are trying to deplete the resources of Burkina Faso. You notice they didn't go kill the head of state from Niger. They didn't go kill the head of state from Mali. They killed the head of state of Burkina Faso. Hello? I don't got no money for no fear. Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, I asked that mom, but I'm broke right now. Yeah, man. Hard times. Hard times, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, shit. Everybody don't live good. So, you know what I'm saying? I feel bad. And I'm not going to say, like, you know what I'm saying, as a parent, it's certain things that I be wanting to do and, you know what I'm saying, want my kids to be involved with. But sometimes, you know, you don't got the muscle to tussle. You don't got the funds to, you know what I'm saying, to do that. And, you know, this is another part of struggling. This is life. Life be life. But for the same way that I'm struggling, what do you think the people of Burkina Faso doing? Where are they finna go back to? So it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard on these people.
be mature about this. Okay, this is a serious issue and it's affecting a lot of people.
Where is Burkina Faso?
Let's
G teach us. Yeah, let's learn. But first of all, where is it?
West Africa. It's near like Mali.
Okay.
And for years they were colonized by the French.
Okay.
And the French basically colonized them and started taking all the resources.
Yeah. As they do.
As they do.
Only them.
Well, they apparently have their history of colonization is different. So, like the British sometimes would like come in and like nanny.
Shout out to Schultz Reacts. What is his name? Shout out to Flagrant Clips for this this bit, and shout out to Schultz for speaking on what's going on. We've been speaking on Ibrahim Traroé, and I've been giving my accounts on it, and you know how I feel. And a lot of people may not just be feeling to what I'm speaking on, right? They might be like, you know, well, Pharaoh, you know, you black, you Pan-Africanist, you know what I'm saying, you a Muslim. I did not know Ibrahim Traroé was Muslim. I thought he was Christian. But to me, it didn't matter. It didn't matter whether the man was Christian, Muslim. He was doing something for his country that no one else has ever done before. And that is stand by the people. Start a gold reserves for his country. They have gold. They have the gold in the land, but yet they don't have no gold reserve. So, besides me talking about it, let's run.
You ready to talk about Burkina Faso?
Yes.
And just be mature about this. Okay, this is a serious issue and it's affecting a lot of people.
Where is Burkina Faso? Let's G teach us. Yeah, let's learn. But first of all, where is it?
West Africa. It's near like Mali.
Okay.
I'm sorry to keep stopping, but also a lot of people don't even know where Burkina Faso is at. A lot of people don't even know what's going on in Burkina Faso. So shout out to them knowing it's in West Africa, next to Niger, next to Mali, next to, by Ghana, Ivory Coast. So let's run the clip.
And for years, they were colonized by the French.
Okay.
And the French basically colonized them and started taking all the resources.
Yeah. As they do.
As they do.
Only them.
Well, they apparently have their history of colonization is different. So, like the British sometimes would like come in and like nanny state, but the French would just come in and be like, we're taking everything.
Taking it all.
So then they get independence in the 60s, but the French leave, but then prop up a bunch of their backed politicians that then run the country and just kind of siphon off all the resources of the French.
Right.
Also, the U.S. kind of comes in and starts siphoning off resources.
And didn't they leave military there that were able to
people speak on Burkina Faso,
just break up conflicts?
Yeah.
Even though they were free, it was like, nah, we still gonna leave some of our military.
They had a presence, and then the president was, backed by the French. And then they get this guy Sankara back in the day. He gets assassinated, and he was trying to like liberate the country and nationalize the resources.
Right.
And then gets assassinated. And then basically,
stop right there. Thomas Sankara. Excuse me. Thomas Sankara, a revolutionary that was trying to free Burkina Faso from imperialism.
From then until like 2016, they've just been under like kind of like French, colonization, stealing all their shit. And then in 2022, this dude comes in and says, "Nah, fuck that."
What's his name?
Ibrahim Traroé or Traoré or something. And basically just takes back the country and starts nationalizing all the resources. So does a coup, creates a government, and he's not the leader of it.
Creates a coup, nationalizes all the resources, and he is not the owner of the country. This is the type of president, leader that people want in that country.
37 years old, fire, and is just running the country.
Was he a military guy?
He was formerly military.
And then, so how did he get the loyalty of the military?
Basically, he was just like, yo, this is fucked up what they're doing. That all these presidents are...
Ibrahim Traroé, how did he get the love of the army? Ibrahim Traroé was a part of the coups that within the last couple of years, within the last 2, maybe 3 coups in Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traroé, to some degree, has seen it or been a part of it. He's been in the military. So he has seen the people that he helped put in power, what they do and how they disarm the country instead of transform the country for the better. He has seen this. He has put people in power through his boots on the ground, through his people that throughout the military that believe in him and he believe in them. That's how he was able to have the love of the army, because he loved the people.
Like Manchurian candidates, siphoning off our resources, leaving our country in squalor. Burkina Faso has like historically the lowest GDP, or like of the lowest GDPs. 40% of the country lives below the poverty line. Everyone's struggling, but they have the 4th most gold of any African country. Just getting crushed. And they're like, what is happening? Why does this keep happening to us?
Why does this keep happening to us? You are in the top 5 gold producers of the world. Little old Burkina Faso, top 5 gold producers of the world, but yet they have the lowest GP.
And then they do a military coup, and then the guy that leads military coup ends up getting ousted by him. So it's like a coup of a coup.
Oh, shit.
Of another coup. Like, there's just like all these different coups. And so he eventually gets appointed by like the coup board. And they're basically like, yeah, Ibrahim's going to run it. And now everyone...
Why did the first guy get kicked out? Do you know?
They were unsure of his loyalty, and then also he wasn't going hard enough on the jihadists.
Not
so there's
just
2
that,
problems happening in Burkina Faso, where the one is like the French occupation, and then the other thing is you have jihadists coming in from like Mali that are now displacing all these people in Burkina Faso. So they're coming through, like 2 million people have been displaced, thousands of people have been killed by this like militant Islamist regime trying to create like an Islamic state.
What's their name?
They're connected to Al-Qaeda and ISIS. They have like super specific like, you know, sets. Like I don't know what the specific name is. But yeah, basically he's come through and like, we're nationalizing the gold, we're kicking all the jihadists out, and we're gonna make Burkina Faso great again.
There's been like 2 assassination attempts on his life.
Oh yeah, so far, like that we know of. And they've tried to like coup him, so he got super popular recently in April because they tried to do
Ibrahim Traroé, within the last 2 years, he has survived 18 assassination attempts and 2 to 3 coups. Here is a man that he didn't come in and take the gold for himself. He didn't come in, take the diamonds for himself. He nationalized it. Burkina Faso never had its own gold reserves prior to Ibrahim Traroé and his junta coalition. Never. How do you not have a gold reserve when you are the 4th major producer of gold in the world? How do you not have your own gold reserve? America has a gold reserve, and they're not even in the top 10 producers of gold. So somebody wants that gold.
like that we know of. And they've tried to like coup him, so he got super popular recently in April because they tried to do a coup on him, and he was like, "Nah, fuck that." And taken. So now what happens internally is that you have people within like your own regime trying to take you out. So there's other people vying for power, like people that helped you get to your position now trying to take you out.
Yeah.
So now he's creating a system. I don't even understand how they're doing it. There's not even a ton of coverage on this. It's like hard to find. And he's basically like quelling internal coups and basically appointed himself as like the leader of the coup out.
Yeah.
So now he's creating a system. I don't even understand how they're doing it. There's not even a ton of coverage on this. It's like hard to find. And he's basically like quelling internal coups.
Why America and the black community is so much enraged about Tory Lanez, about, Diddy and Cassie, that our eyes is taken off Africa. Our eyes, even though Tory Lanez has been stabbed within inches of his life, that gets me to thinking that they want us to focus on this instead of focusing on what's going on in Africa. Why the black man in Africa, why the black people in Africa, why the black people in America still refuse to connect with the black people in Africa?
Surrounding him, his office was a fortress. The room itself was secure, every inch covered by the highest level of surveillance. Outside the walls, there were 200 bodyguards, a team handpicked to protect the president. They were all highly trained, loyal, and capable of defending the building against any threat. This was not a man who could be easily touched. Yet, that morning, something was about to happen that would change everything. Ibrahim was deeply...
Now, what I will say is, if you go back to my earlier video, America versus Ibrahim Traroé, when they came out and said that he was misusing the gold reserves, and then it came out that his right-hand man was offered $5 million by France and the imperialists to assassinate Ibrahim Traroé, I said I would fumigate. I would fumigate, and I said this as soon as I heard it, I would fumigate. Because if my right-hand man is coming out and saying that they got to him, if they got to my right-hand man, I am only rightfully suspicious of everybody else. I'm only rightfully suspicious of everybody else. They got to my right-hand man, and I don't care that he came and told me. I don't care that he came and told me. Please share and like this episode, please. I don't care if he came and told me. They got to him. That means if they got to him, they could have got to anybody else. And I said I would have fumigated. I would have fumigated. My country wouldn't have liked it, but I would have been surrounded by the Wagner group mixed with the North Korean group. Really, the North Koreans. I would have been surrounded by the North Koreans. Why? Because America and Russia don't trust North Korea.
Focused on the report in front of him, his pen gliding over the pages as he jotted down notes. The room was quiet except for the sound of his pen and the soft hum of the air conditioning. His personal assistant Marie stood by the door waiting for him to finish. But then, without warning, the atmosphere shifted. The door to the office creaked open, and one of the senior bodyguards, Captain Mamadou, stepped in. He was a massive man, his frame imposing, and his reputation for handling the most dangerous situations was unmatched. But today, Mamadou's face was unusually tense, his eyes flicking nervously toward the door as if expecting something. "Mr. President," Captain Mamadou began, his voice low but urgent. "There's a situation outside the palace. I don't know if it's related, but we've received reports of movement near the perimeter." Ibrahim didn't look up from his papers, his mind...
Another top official. That's why I say, even if they got to my right-hand man, now it is possible that everybody has been infected at the top level. Until I can vet everybody around me, and excuse me, until I can clear everybody around me, I couldn't have my own people around me. Now would be the time of political strategic awareness. Now you are being targeted by top officials. Now me knowing if I get killed by my own, they gonna say it was a coup d'etat thrown on another coup d'etat. So what I'm gonna do, instead of letting that happen, I'm gonna surround myself with those that have no direct link to the land.
Near the perimeter, Ibrahim didn't look up from his papers, his mind racing through the possibilities. Any immediate threat, Not yet, sir, Mamadou replied, his unease still palpable. But it's unusual, and we've heightened security. I just wanted to make sure you're aware. Ibrahim finally looked up, meeting Mamadou's eyes. Thank you, Captain. I'll handle it. As Mamadou stepped back out, Ibrahim's thoughts shifted. There had been whispers of instability in the region, but he couldn't afford to get distracted. He had a country to lead, and he couldn't afford to waste time on baseless rumors. He stood from his desk, walking over to the window, where he could see the palace grounds and the armed guards standing at attention. The perimeter was secure, the palace was secure, or so he thought. Suddenly, without any warning, the world outside his office exploded in a deafening sound. A loud bang shook the air, followed by several more in rapid succession. Ibrahim...
So let me say this. I was under the wear that somebody just walked up and killed him. This was an illusion. This was a decoy. For him to be on this, to see what's going on, he always stays strapped. So his mind had to be somewhere else for them to attack.
Spun around, his heart pounding in his chest. The gunfire wasn't coming from the perimeter. It was coming from inside the palace, from somewhere too close, far too close. The room was instantly filled with chaos. His guards rushed in, weapons drawn, eyes wide with panic. A commotion outside his door could be heard as more bodyguards scrambled to take action. Ibrahim felt his blood run cold as he realized that this was no ordinary threat. His heart raced as the situation unfolded before him, and in the blink of an eye, the unthinkable happened. Another explosion rocked the palace, and the doors to his office burst open. The figure that stepped into the room was masked, their movements swift and calculated. Ibrahim's bodyguards were quick to react, drawing their weapons, but they were too slow. The figure was already there, moving too fast. A gunshot rang out, sharp, loud, and deadly. The world seemed to slow down for Ibrahim. For a moment, time stopped. He looked down and saw blood seeping through his shirt, the wound already growing more painful. He could feel the searing heat spreading through his chest as the bullet pierced his body, the agony taking hold. His bodyguards lunged at...
This commentary is off the chain. The way he's giving insight to this coup is beyond me. It gives great imagination, though. He's getting great imagination, you know, of how he will be thinking. This man need to write a book.
The figure, but it was too late. The assassin's job was done. Ibrahim stumbled, falling against the desk, the world blurring around him. He could hear shouting and chaos outside the office, but everything seemed distant. His vision began to fade, and his mind fought to keep him conscious. He couldn't go down like this. He couldn't let them take him. Sir! Amadou, his loyal aide, shouted as he rushed into the room, his face filled with panic. Stay with me, Ibrahim, we've got you. Ibrahim's head swam and the world seemed to tilt. He could hear the voice of his bodyguard, Captain Mamadou, calling for medical help, ordering the house to be locked down. Ibrahim clung to the fading threads of his consciousness, trying to keep himself from slipping away. But before he lost all control, one thought filled his mind. Who could have done that?
Mamadou, whatever the hell this dude's name is. How the hell did he not die? How the hell did he not get injured? How the hell was he not firing back? How did the assassins get through the door past him? That's what I want to know. To me, this man set him up.
The world around Ibrahim Traroé was a blur as his bodyguards rushed into his office, pulling him away from the desk where he had collapsed. His chest burned, the wound spreading heat and pain through his body as they dragged him out of the room. He was conscious, but barely. Every breath felt like a struggle, and the world seemed far too quiet. Despite the chaos that had erupted outside, his mind was racing, trying to focus on the reality of what had just happened, but the blood loss was starting to take its toll. "I'm not done yet," Ibrahim muttered under his breath as Amadou, his closest aide, hurriedly applied pressure to his wound. His vision flickered and he could feel the weight of the situation pressing in on him.
Commentary.
He was the president of Burkina Faso, the leader of a nation, and someone had just tried to take that away from him. The pain in his side was excruciating, but it was the deeper pain of betrayal, of not knowing who had orchestrated the attack, that made him feel most vulnerable. The guards moved quickly, ushering him down the hallway toward a secure medical room within the palace. As they passed through the corridors, Ibrahim's thoughts were consumed with one question: who did this? His country had enemies, yes, but this attack felt personal. It wasn't just an attempt on his life. It was a message, a calculated strike designed to destroy his authority, to shatter the stability he had worked so hard to build.
They're not. The way that he was assassinated and the way that they were trying to assassinate him was to send a message. Don't do this again. Don't try this again. This is not, doing this will not go unpunished. You do not revolt against us, nothing. You do not kick us out. This was to send a message. No matter who is in this position, you will bow to France.
That it had happened in front of 200 bodyguards, the best trained, most reliable men in the country, made it even worse. Whoever was behind it had resources, power, and a deep understanding of his movements. As Ibrahim was rushed into the medical room, the doctor's hands immediately went to work, checking his vitals and stitching up the wound in his side. The bullet had narrowly missed his organs, but the pain, the blood loss, and the fear were all too real. Ibrahim's heart rate was dangerously high, and the doctors warned him that he needed to stay still, to rest. But resting wasn't an option. This attack wasn't a random act of violence. It was the beginning of something bigger. He could feel it in his gut. "I need answers now," Ibrahim said, his voice hoarse but commanding as he looked at Amadou. "Find out who did this. Don't stop until we have every detail." Amadou, always composed in the face of danger, nodded solemnly. "Of course, sir. We'll find them. But you need to stay calm. You've been hurt." "I can't afford to stay calm," Ibrahim replied, trying to push through the pain as he sat up on the medical table. "This is bigger than me, Amadou. I can feel it. Someone is trying to destroy everything we've worked for. They won't stop with me." Amadou didn't argue. Instead, he moved quickly, instructing the medical staff to monitor Ibrahim's condition and organizing his security team to start an immediate investigation. The palace was on lockdown, every exit sealed, every visitor monitored. But Ibrahim wasn't just concerned about finding the shooter or the immediate threat. He knew this attack was only the tip of the iceberg. As the hours passed and the doctors managed to stabilize him,
a lot of people are coming in the room and leaving. And I feel like it's because people are not focused on the right shit. Last night I went live about Tory Lanez and P. Diddy, and it damn near went viral. Damn near 6,000 views. But this is something that it doesn't just concern black people. It concerns those that want to do right in the world. That no matter what you have, that what you want to do for the people, those of the evil nature, those that will destroy anything that tries to be good. How has France and America and the Chinese been in Africa for hundreds of years, but nothing has changed, and it is only getting worse? But now that a man has come to his own country and is saying that he is black, this is when it becomes personal. That we care so much about these movie stars and these fucking rappers that we don't even care about somebody that's connecting Africa, that is a fighter for us. that is trying to show us a way that no matter what you think about where you at, that these motherfuckers is not trying to change nothing because you are black. They not trying to change your condition. And that we need to change our conditions for ourselves. How do you argue with a country that's been there for hundreds of years, but there's no paved roads? There's no free healthcare, no hospitals, no gold reserves. But soon as somebody wants to do something for themselves, and a lot of y'all gonna say, oh, I ain't from Africa, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's why they are allowed to keep dividing us. Woman against man, man against man, woman against woman. It is nothing but the Witty Lynch letter taking effect. We watching it and we are not becoming hip to it. We are not calling out none of the bullshit. France, nigga, you got a man for a wife. You got a man for a wife. So if that's what you got going on in your bedroom, for sure you gonna tell the world that it's okay, right along with America doing it. But this man was assassinated. This man didn't own nothing that he took control of. He gave everything back to the country. He gave everything back to the people. Took the people from prison and had them growing their own crops. This man said, we don't need America. Grain, corn, we don't need that. We gonna grow our own. Tomato paste, yeah, we got that. Refining gold, yeah, we got that. Refining diamonds, yeah, we got that. Creating our own vehicles, yeah, we got that. We got that. We don't gotta ask you for shit. But we, especially as Americans, right? Like those Africans in America, right? We need to get off that high horse that we not connected to Africa. We need to get off that high horse that, oh, it wasn't no ships and you know what I'm saying? How do you think the black people came over here? Oh, I'm from America. I'm an indigenous American and woo, I didn't come over here on no boat. My people didn't come be slaves from no boat. They enslaved the people that was here. Okay, cool. Where do you think the black people came from? Where the fuck do you think the black people came from? They fell out the fucking sky?
Managed to stabilize him. Ibrahim's mind was elsewhere. He couldn't rest. His presidency, the future of Burkina Faso, and his very survival depended on uncovering the truth behind the attack. There were no easy answers, no quick solutions. All he knew was that the bullet was just the beginning of something far darker. The conspiracy against him ran deeper than he could have ever imagined. This wasn't just an assassination attempt, it was an orchestrated move by someone with access, influence, and a plan. And if Ibrahim didn't act swiftly, this threat would destroy everything he had fought for. Ibrahim's thoughts turned to the people closest to him, his trusted aides, his generals, his advisors, and he realized...
And this is why I said in the episode, America versus Ibrahim Traroé, it may sound fucked up, and people may be like, oh, Pharaoh, you know, at least he came to tell you. Yes, but if he's my trusted right-hand man, he would understand what I have to do next. And what I had to do next was clear everybody from around me. It's time to shift. And if you love me, you would understand that I am not doing this for selfish cause. I am doing this for the people. I need to stay alive. Right now, everyone has to understand that the enemy has infiltrated the top ranks around us. I'm not gonna kill myself. So right now, I need everybody that's in the palace to guard outside the palace walls. And then I need to bring these North Koreans and these Wagner Russians in. That was the only thing I could see that he failed to do. He wanted, when keeping it real goes wrong. Even for Ibrahim Traroé, and I love the brother, man. Allah be pleased with him, man. May Allah be pleased with him, man. Allah be pleased with him. When keeping it real goes wrong, he wanted, these are my people. I need to entrust my people. But when your people have time and time and time again killed the next man in front for they part, you know what it is now. You can't believe that. Once you are given the information, the factual information, the bread and butter, that they have infiltrated the top ranks of your organization, man, I can't trust nobody. Everybody gotta go. This ain't no gang banging shit. This ain't no, oh, you know what I'm saying? No, this is worldwide politics. And we have to think on a worldwide level. How do I keep myself safe? Everybody's been getting killed by another member of the army, of the military. Vet everybody from the military and bring them in. That's how you do that.
His advisors, and he realized that there could be a traitor in their midst. The attack hadn't just come from outside the palace, it had come from within. He wasn't just fighting to stay alive, he was fighting to expose the treason that had been growing in the shadows for far too long. In the following days, Ibrahim's investigation began. His security team combed through every inch of palace footage, every document, and every communication that had passed through the government systems. They traced the movements of his bodyguards, cross-referring each one with visitors and suspects. It was a thorough and meticulous process.
And I'm late on this. Even though I'm an Ibrahim Traroé fan, I'm late on this because he's saying, from what I'm getting now, it's been days, had to be within the last 2 days. So yesterday, I wasn't even up on my game. Yesterday, I was so taken away from what's going on with something that has substance that I was still, like everybody else, on Diddy and, you know what I'm saying, and Tory Lanez. Hey, salute to the mind, salute to the mind, salute to the mind. Peace, God. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy, man. So for me, I'm even off my square because this happened days ago, and I didn't even get to see it. I didn't, but I saw the play coming. I might not have had the information, but I saw the play coming. That's why I said, I even told my boy, you know what I'm saying? If you would have did that, if you would have came to me and told me that, all right, bro, I love you, but you know the run I'm on right now. The run I'm on is I'm legit, man. I'm really trying to save my people, and I'm not saying my homie not, but they not trying to get you. They trying to get me. So now I gotta find a way to stay in this position and to stay safe because now I know they have infected my top officials. Now I know that if they got my right-hand man, that anybody around me, I'm gonna keep saying it, anybody around me could be infected. They came in there masked up. Now let's finish this.
It was a thorough and meticulous process. But with every lead they followed, Ibrahim's gut told him that the conspiracy ran deeper than he could have anticipated. And then the breakthrough came. Amadou entered the room with a grim look on his face, holding a folder filled with printed documents. Sir, we've discovered something. The shooter, the one who fired at you, was connected to someone high up in the military. Someone trusted. Ibrahim's heart skipped a beat. Who? General Yamayogo, Amadou said, his voice filled with disbelief. He's been in contact with the assassin.
I'm gonna save it. I don't know what his right-hand man name is, but I'm gonna save it because it might be playing out to how I said.
Records show meetings with mercenaries and there are suspicious financial transactions linked to him. This wasn't just a random attack on you. It's part of a larger scheme, and it's coming from within your own ranks. Ibrahim's mind raced as the implications hit him like a wave. Yamayogo was more than just a general. He was a trusted ally, a friend, almost. The realization that he had been targeted by someone so close was a devastating blow. You're sure about this? Ibrahim asked, his voice cold, control.
This is the thing. And I'm going to say it again. When keeping it real goes wrong. The dude done already said that Mamadou was already looking suspicious at the door, right? Me, that was just good commentary, good catching the eye for the scene, having a good imagination. I'm gonna say that, right? But how did he go out the door? The commotion started out the door, the assassins came in, and then he came in. You were a part of it.
Old. Amadou nodded grimly. Yes, sir. The evidence points directly to him. Ibrahim's eyes narrowed, his resolve hardening. The battle for his life was far from over. The person who had tried to kill him had been an insider, someone who knew how to get past all security. But Ibrahim wasn't going to let this stand. He had to act. We need to bring him in, Ibrahim said firmly, his voice low and deadly. I want General Yamayogo in front of me, now. The room was cold, the air thick with tension. Ibrahim Traroé sat behind his desk in a secure room within the palace, the weight of betrayal pressing down on him like a heavy stone. He had survived the assassination attempt, but now the real battle had begun.
Hello? Over there? I know, but I'm on live right now. My boy just sent. Hold on, man. I'm gonna look it up right now. Good looking up. No, I'm on my tablet live. Over there, I'm gonna look at it. All right, this is crazy. My boy just sent me something right now. He said that not only did they kill Ibrahim Traroé, but they just burned down the largest plantation home in the country.
He had survived the assassination attempt, but now the real battle had begun. General Yamayogo, one of his closest allies, had been exposed as a traitor. The information Amadou had uncovered sent shockwaves through Ibrahim's mind. The general wasn't just involved in the plot against him, he was one of the masterminds, working in cahoots with foreign operatives, mercenaries, and corrupt officials to seize control of Burkina Faso. Ibrahim's breath quickened as he gripped the edge of the desk.
It could only be
the shock of the betrayal still burned in his chest.
In America,
Yamayogo had been by his side, trusted beyond measure, and now he had turned against him, selling out his country for personal gain. Ibrahim had never expected it to be someone so close to him. The realization hit hard. His own government, his own military, had been infiltrated, and the conspiracy reached farther than he could have ever imagined. Ibrahim knew that he had to move fast. He couldn't afford to let this treason fester. His country's survival depended on it. The assassin had nearly succeeded, and Yamaogo's betrayal had been the catalyst. Ibrahim's mind shifted into full focus. He couldn't let this go unanswered. "We need to find Yamaogo," Ibrahim said, his voice calm but filled with an icy resolve. "He must be brought to me, now." Amadou stood at attention, his face grim. "We've already tracked him, sir. He's in a safe house on the outskirts of the capital. We believe he's gathering support from his network." Ibrahim's fists clenched. "I want him alive. I want him to face what he's done. Prepare the team." The next few hours were a blur of activity as Ibrahim's security team mobilized. The convoy was prepared, and within moments they were speeding toward the safe house. As the convoy wound its way through the city, Ibrahim's mind raced. Yamaogo had betrayed him, but more than that, he had betrayed the people of Burkina Faso. This wasn't just about power, it was about the very soul of the country. Ibrahim knew that if Yamaogo was allowed to continue...
This is weird to me too, because, you know what I'm saying, you gotta think for the long con. So, my mind now is, boom. Like I say, everything is a plot. Give him that information so he can get outside the palace already wounded, and we'll do the job there.
He would stop at nothing to destroy everything Ibrahim had fought to rebuild. The safe house loomed in the distance as the convoy arrived, its walls rising high against the darkening sky. Ibrahim could feel the tension building. This was the moment of reckoning. His country was on the brink of disaster, and the man who had nearly killed him was within his grasp. They surrounded the safe house with military precision, the team moving quickly, quietly, and with deadly intent. Ibrahim's heart pounded as he moved toward the entrance, his bodyguards trailing closely behind. The house was eerily quiet, too quiet, and Ibrahim could feel the weight of the silence pressing against him. This was it. The final confrontation. The door to the safe house was kicked open, and the team stormed inside. Ibrahim's eyes scanned the room as they moved in, and there, in the far corner, stood General Yamaogo, looking almost too calm. The moment their eyes met, Ibrahim felt a flicker of something. Regret? No, that wasn't it. There was no remorse in Yamaogo's gaze. There was only coldness. "You've made a grave mistake, Ibrahim," Yamaogo said, his voice low but sure. "You think you can stop this? You think you can stand against the forces that are already in motion?" Ibrahim stepped forward, his eyes narrowing. "You betrayed me, Yamaogo. You betrayed this country. You thought you could tear us apart, but you're wrong. It ends today." Yamaogo's lips curled into a smirk. "You don't understand, do you? This isn't about you. It never was. It's about the future. And you, Ibrahim, were never meant to be a part of it. I'm doing what needs to be done to secure Burkina Faso's place in the world. You were just a pawn in a much bigger game." Ibrahim's anger flared, but he steadied himself. "You'll answer for what you've done. Your time is up, General." The room was filled with a heavy silence, the tension thick enough to cut with a knife. Ibrahim could feel the weight of the moment pressing in on him. He wasn't just confronting Yamaogo, he was confronting everything that was wrong with the system, with the people who had exploited Burkina Faso for their own gain. The general's smile faded and his eyes flashed with something darker. "You think you've won, don't you? But the truth is, you've already lost. You're too late. This country is already under our control. You were never supposed to lead it, and now that you're out of the picture..."
And see, that's the thing. It's the grab for the power. It's the power that they want. And like I say, it's black people out here that will say they want to lead the people, but in reality, the only thing they want is a chance to hold the whip. They want a chance to crack that whip on motherfuckers. So out of everything that he did for the country, they feel like they should have got a bigger share. So now they killing him.
"We'll finish what we started." Ibrahim's hand tightened around the weapon in his holster. "You're wrong, Yamaogo. You won't control Burkina Faso, the people won't let you, and I won't let you either." The words hung in the air, thick with finality. The betrayal, the assassination attempt, the foreign interests pulling the strings, it all came down to this moment. The fight for the future of the country was just beginning, and Ibrahim wasn't about to back down. He wasn't done yet. Take him into custody. Ibrahim ordered, his voice cold. It's over. As his security team moved in, Yamayogo made one last desperate move, trying to pull a weapon from his side. But Ibrahim's guards were too quick. They restrained him before he could make a move. As Yamayogo was dragged away, Ibrahim took a moment to breathe, the weight of the confrontation slowly sinking in. The conspiracy was real, and the people behind it were powerful, but the truth was out, and now there was no turning back. Ibrahim Traoré's mind was focused, his body still aching from the wounds he had sustained in the attack, but his resolve was sharper than ever. General Yamayogo had been taken into custody, but Ibrahim knew the battle was far from over. As the news of the general's capture spread, it felt as though it...
And say, well, this is the choice of the people. This is what the people want. The people want France to be there. This is what the people want. How can France say this is what the people want? When you gotta kill somebody in order to have power, you shouldn't have power.
Our cloud had descended over Burkina Faso. There was more at play than just the general's betrayal. It was clear now that Yamayogo had been a mere pawn in a much larger game. The conspiracy reached far deeper, and Ibrahim knew he needed to uncover who else was involved before the country fell into chaos. As he sat in his secure office within the palace, he felt the weight of the nation's future resting squarely on his shoulders. His advisors worked tirelessly behind the scenes, decoding intercepted communications, tracking financial transactions, and analyzing evidence from Yamayogo's network. But Ibrahim could feel the pressure mounting. The foreign powers involved in this plot were far more dangerous than any one general or rogue military officer. And the longer it took to expose them, the more likely they were to complete their mission of destabilizing the country. Ibrahim's thoughts were interrupted by the sudden entry of Amadou, his most trusted aide, holding a folder filled with new intelligence. Sir, we've traced the final connections. It's bigger than we thought. The plot doesn't just involve Yamayogo. There are foreign diplomats and military contractors tied to the network. We've identified a link to Karamoko Diarra, a former diplomat with ties to multinational corporations and foreign intelligence agencies. He's been orchestrating the entire operation from behind the scenes. Ibrahim's mind raced as Amadou spoke. Karamoko Diarra was someone Ibrahim had known well. Once a respected diplomat, he had been an integral part of the country's foreign relations. To learn that Diarra was involved in the conspiracy was a gut punch. Ibrahim had trusted him, believed in him, and now he realized that Diarra had been working against him.
Look how it goes. Look how it goes, man. Look how it goes. For this man to be tricked, betrayed by diplomats, it's the money. It's the power. None of these people have done anything for Burkina Faso. Nothing. Nothing. So what do they want from Burkina Faso? The gold.
All along. I want him found, Ibrahim said, his voice low but commanding. I want him in front of me, and I want him to tell me everything. Amadou nodded, his face grim. We're on it, sir. We have a lead on his whereabouts. He's holed up in a compound near the city, and it's heavily guarded. But if we move quickly, we can get to him before he slips away. Ibrahim stood up, his body still weak, but his mind sharp. He couldn't afford to waste any more time. He had survived an assassination attempt, but the real fight was only just beginning. The conspiracy was vast, and Diarra was one of the final pieces. Ibrahim wasn't just fighting for his life anymore. He was fighting for Burkina Faso. His country was on the brink of collapse, and he had to act fast to protect it. Get the team ready, Ibrahim ordered, his voice steady despite the rising tension in the air. We leave in 20 minutes. As they approached the compound, the air grew thick with the scent of dust and impending danger. Ibrahim's heart raced, but his focus remained unshaken. The final confrontation was upon him. He couldn't afford to make any mistakes. As the convoy approached the compound, Ibrahim's security team moved swiftly, surrounding the building with precision. The plan was simple. infiltrate the compound, capture Diarra, and bring him back for interrogation. But Ibrahim knew that nothing about this operation would be simple. They had already been ambushed once, and Diarra's connections were far-reaching. There was no telling who would be waiting for them inside. Ibrahim and Amadou led the charge, entering the compound's darkened interior with military precision. The tension was palpable, and Ibrahim's senses were heightened. Every sound, every movement felt like a warning. They moved through the hallways, weapons drawn, until they reached the central chamber. Inside, they found Karamoko Diarra, sitting calmly, as though he had been expecting them all along. The look in his eyes was cold, calculating, and defiant. "You've come, Ibrahim," Diarra said, his voice smooth but laced with venom. "I knew you would eventually, but it's too late. The plan is already in motion. You can't stop it." Ibrahim's heart pounded as he stepped closer, his gaze fixed on Diarra. "The plan is over, Diarra. You're under arrest for treason, conspiracy, and the attempt on my life. The game is up." Adair chuckled darkly, standing up from his chair. "You think you can stop this? You think you can expose everything and save your precious Burkina Faso? You're nothing but a puppet, Ibrahim. You've been played, and now you'll fall like the rest." The words cut through Ibrahim like a knife, but he stood his ground. "No, Diarra, this is where it ends. I've survived your assassination attempt. I've exposed your conspiracy, and now I'm going to make sure you face the consequences of your actions." The room seemed to grow colder, the air thick with the weight of the moment. Diarra's defiance only fueled Ibrahim's resolve. He wouldn't let this man, this traitor, destroy everything he had worked for.
The internet withheld this information. The internet withheld this information. Because now that I'm going through my mind and how I've been running through the internet, I seen nothing. I seen nothing on the internet that was saying there was a coup in Burkina Faso. I seen nothing. So the internet withheld this until they killed him.
Ibrahim's men moved in to detain Diarra, but just as they reached for him, the doors to the compound slammed shut. The sound of gunfire erupted from all sides, and Ibrahim's team immediately returned fire. Diarra had prepared for this. He wasn't going down without a fight, but Ibrahim Traroé wasn't about to let him win. The final confrontation was chaotic, with bullets flying and smoke filling the air. Ibrahim's men fought back fiercely, securing the compound and neutralizing Diarra's mercenaries. Ibrahim himself moved with precision, his focus unbroken. As he approached Diarra, who had been cornered by his guards, the diplomat's face was twisted in rage. "You won't win, Ibrahim," Diarra spat. "You're already dead." Ibrahim stood tall, his gaze unflinching. "Not today. This is our victory, Diarra, and you will answer for your crime." The battle for Burkina...
I told you, get him outside the palace already wounded. He won't be 100. He's racing to save the country and he's racing to save his life at the same time, losing blood. It was a setup, man.
Faso's future had reached its breaking point. The conspirators had been exposed, but the war was far from over. Abraham's survival was no accident. He was the protector of his country, and no matter what it took, he would defend it from those who sought to destroy it. Ibrahim Traroé has survived yet another assassination attempt and exposed the dangerous conspiracy threatening his life. With Karamoko Diarra and his foreign allies now captured, what comes next for the future of Burkina Faso? Stay tuned for the next chapter of The Voice of Ibrahim Traroé as the fight for justice continues.
Well, in that episode, they say he wasn't killed. Well, family come together like buck cheeks, kids will be going. That's the man. You feel me? So that's great. That's cool. That's cool. Oh, well, it said that they tried to assassinate him. It says all of them are saying try. So I don't believe that they killed him. They didn't kill him, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to dig a little deeper, y'all. I'm gonna have to dig a little deeper because I haven't seen nothing that actually says that he is dead. That's why I was saying, like, it's crazy that he's giving up, like, this type of commentary of what happened. You know what I'm saying? Inshallah, man, may he still be alive, man. You feel me? May Allah protect him and have mercy on him and guide him, man. For real, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was feeling down, y'all. I was feeling down. But, inshallah, there are rumors he's still alive. But still, I was still, you know, it wouldn't have happened if, you know what I'm saying, the assassins wouldn't have been able to come in if, you know what I mean? So, I'm going to do some more due diligence. I just woke up this morning and I was flooded. And now that I'm, you know, it's been days so, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Please jump in them comments, share, like, and subscribe. This is a critical topic, a critical situation around the world. They're trying to take this man out. Why? Because he is doing something for the country that no one else has done. So, that is a good thing. And until later on today, I'm finna go run some topics up, you know what I'm saying, through the internet and see what I come up with. Until then, take care of each other. And if you can't do that, above all, take care of yourself.